So today I want to take you back in time to 2019. Things were a little bit different for me. I had battled and overcome depression, quite crippling depression I might add, and I was thrown into a world of severe anxiety for a multitude of reasons. There were a few sort of destabilising factors that were affecting me, and I was having like really severe stomach problems. Like at the worst point, I couldn't walk around the block. It was dreadful. But yeah, we got through it. Life is very different now, I am very pleased to say. Obviously at the time I was still trying my best to actively practice landscape photography. And it was hard. It was really, really difficult. Dragging myself out of the house when I felt dreadful and just wanted to run back home and hide in my bed was it was really difficult. And I think some of my best works that I have ever taken have been taken when I've been like so anxious I'm literally shaking and like desperate to just run away and hide, fight or flight reflex in full flow. But I persevered, I got through it, and I made some lovely pictures. And I guess what's really interesting is you might look at some of the work and go, wow, that's such a calm, serene, like gorgeous scene. And I'd be sitting there going, oh my God, this is dreadful. Like, I just have to go, get me out of here. Yeah, the picture I want to show you today is, I'm not going to say it's a picture that changed it all, but it served as a really good reminder of like part of the human condition, which is the perseverance, the resilience. It's all of the things, and it's the experience of the natural world that can make such a huge difference to us as people. Yeah, so anyway, I'll start telling the story. I set the alarm very early. Let's check what time it was. I don't think it was that late. I'm just checking metadata. No, it definitely wasn't that late. Ah, there it is, 7:30. Yeah, so I set the alarm early for me at the time, probably about 6 a.m. and got up, looked out of the window, and the clouds were black. As far as the eye could see, there was just black clouds, no light whatsoever. I thought I'd set the alarm for the wrong time. It was so dark. And that morning the night before I should say, I had promised myself that I was going to go out and make a landscape photograph, or even just take the camera for a walk. I promised myself it didn't matter, no matter what, I was going to be out there. I was going to go experience some nature, maybe take a picture and try and start my day right. And I look out the window and I see that. I'm like, oh no, am I really going to do this? And I thought, no, you've promised, so you're going to get yourself out there. It doesn't matter. We don't have to go far. I'm blessed. I live by the coast. I'm maybe a 5-minute drive away. So yeah, I got myself together, turned myself around. Took a little bit longer in those days. And eventually psyched myself up enough to get out of the house and try and catch sunrise. You know, what I thought might never come. It was so dark. So yeah, hopped in the car, shaking. Drove, and I thought, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Hadn't planned it. Didn't really work too well with plans at that point. I just had to go where I felt. Which maybe there's a lesson in there somewhere. I think probably just, following your instincts can be really rewarding sometimes. In this case, it definitely was. I thought, right, I'm going to go to the top of my local park. There is a gorgeous view of my local pier there. Maybe I'll get lucky, and if not, I'll go and see the sea. That's enough for me. So I was driving along and it was still black. I was going, God, sunrise is supposed to be in 15 minutes. I can't see any hint of light whatsoever. So I'm out. I'm out now. I'm going to try and do it. Shaking again, still like, oh God, maybe I should just go home. No, I'm going to power through. And pulled up, parked, looked out the window of the car, went, this is pointless. This is pointless. Why am I wasting my time? Maybe I should just go back to bed. I feel bad. The light is dreadful. It's so flat and overcast. There's nothing for me here. And the little voice, it was really little at that point, went, no. That's a mistake. You're not really thinking that. You need to get out of the car. So I did. I got out of the car, grabbed my camera backpack. All right, okay. I'll take my bag for a walk. I'll take my camera for a walk. We'll just walk around the park. I don't have to get it out. And then if nothing happens or I don't want to take a photograph, I can just get back in the car and I can go home. And then at least I can say I tried. Okay, right, let's do it. Grab my bag, walk to the top of the park. And as I approached sort of the hill that it slopes down to the coast and you look across, you see the pier. I looked and thought, actually, that doesn't look too bad. Okay. Do I get the camera out? For posterity. I'll get the camera out for posterity. And then I can prove to myself when I look back on this moment that I got up and went out. And so I did. I got the camera out. I set the tripod up, put the filters on, and then just took a picture. That was it. All right. That wasn't so hard. So yeah, I'm looking east. I thought, maybe I might get a little spark of light, something like that. And I thought to myself, just 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. I'm sitting there, I'm trembling, I'm shaking like that. Pure, unabridged anxiety is coursing through my body. And the little voice inside is going, just 5 more minutes. Well, I'm so glad I waited, because the clouds in the distance, they started to part just at sunrise. Just at the time the sun was about to peek over the horizon, they opened quite quickly. And all of that thick cloud that was above me was still there. But when the sun finally broke over the horizon, I was just pierced with this ball of energy from the sun. It was warm. Everything was cold, and all of a sudden it was just boom, warm, hot, heat, directed. It felt like it was targeted directly at me. It was crazy. So I was just sitting there taking it all in, going, oh my God, what? I've sat here, I've waited, it's paid off. I'm shaking. I'm still shaking with anxiety. I'm right, I'll take a picture. The sun was so powerful compared to the rest of the scene that it completely blew out the scene. Like, I couldn't photograph it. I had to wait. For it to move. I was going, okay, well, I'll change position a little bit. I'll try and get a good picture. So I repositioned, and the sun, it was still coming up, and it was still this just hot ball of energy, which sounds ridiculous. It's the sun, right? Of course it's a ball of energy. But it just felt so bright, in complete contrast to everywhere else. Like I say, you just couldn't get a clear photograph. And it was causing all sorts of internal reflections with the filters I was using at the time. I was like, I can't photograph this. I'm going to have to wait. So I did. I waited. And I waited some more, and the sun slowly crept its way up above. It passed the pier, it went into the clouds, and then it hit this curtain, this overhanging curtain of clouds. And then the rays appeared sort of directly, nowhere else, just over the scene that I'd framed up. They were just coming down in these waves of light, sort of these beams of light, blanketing the scene with this gorgeous golden light. And it was so uncharacteristically warm, the colour. Everything was. It was just burning orange. And sometimes you look at it and go, oh yeah, there's a lot of orange there, there's a bit of red. The whole thing, it was orange. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And I've never felt anything like it as well. It was restorative. It was it rejuvenated me. And it made me feel human for the first time in a little while, which is probably like quite embarrassing to admit or whatever. I felt human again. I felt like re-energized by the sun and by this experience. I was still shaking like a leaf. I was still really anxious, but it felt a bit like, I don't want to, wax too lyrical. It felt like a bit of an awakening, I was like, wow, I have persevered. I've chosen to be here. I've taken the hard route, and it's paid off. And not every hard route pays off. Sometimes the hard route is just the hard route. But if you don't take the hard route, you never know if it's going to pay off. Anyway, that's my story for today. And I hope it's been worth telling. I hope it means something to you. I hope you take something from it. And I guess the key message is just try and get out there. Enjoy it. Enjoy being in nature. Anyway, take care. Catch you later.